Hi, my name's Megan, and I work with Sunnyside Up Pastures in bettering the planet and bettering our health and giving you the best possible options in meat. I work with my brother Stan. There's 5 brothers, and then there's me, and Stan is the second to youngest, and he came back to the farm probably about 5 or 6 years ago, so my dad could teach him the ropes and my dad could kind of retire, but I don't think farmers ever truly retire. So Stan took over the farm, and he's really the brains of the operation, the heart. He has the drive for all of this, and he's married to his wonderful wife, Christy, and they have 4 kids. You have Samantha, John, Sophie, and Nicholas. And Samantha actually has her own business raising chickens for pastured eggs. And that's really fun for her and really great for me because I love her eggs. And then there's me. I like animals. I guess that's the best way to put it. And I also really enjoy connecting with people over social media and a little bit of the marketing. And I'm married to David. He is my partner in crime. And we have a fur baby, I guess you could call her, Moxie, trying to teach her to be a good herding dog, farm dog, but she's cute and that's what she has going for. And I want this video to be a little bit of introduction to introduce you to Stan and his family and me and my family and what we do. A little, I guess, my own little backstory, and at some point we'll get Stan to do, excuse me, his backstory. I grew up on the farm just like Stan did. This is a 3rd generation farm in this family. And after college, after high school, I should say, I left, college and stuff. And I didn't want to come back to the farm. Just, everyone wants to spread their wings and go do their thing. And, but when I would come home for holidays and stuff, Stan would always talk about like these crazy ideas on revolutionizing the farm. And I was going through my own health journey. Growing up, health, my parents are just naturally like try to eat healthy and be active and stuff, but I guess like big salads or they try to give me to eat my vegetables. I hated vegetables as a kid, and that changed a lot when I went on my 1.5-year church mission to New England, and I just ate what was given to me, and I actually learned to really like salads and vegetables, which is still crazy to me when I think back on that. But I got really into animal welfare about 6, 7, 8 years ago. I don't know, yeah, a while ago, and it really revolutionized my thinking, where I didn't want to ride horses anymore. I didn't feel like that was ethical, and I still loved horses, and I didn't eat meat because I didn't like the meat industry and how that treated how the animals there were being treated, or the dairy industry. I just really went into that, and I want to preface this and that any farmer I've ever met, any rancher, any one of those industries never goes out to harm their animals. Because they know that the better their animals are treated, the better the animals will produce. So that is the first thing. No farmer goes out to hurt their animals. No good farmer. No farmer I've ever met. But I didn't like that these animals were living in their own waste, that so many vaccinations and antibiotics and treatments were needed because of how sick they were getting because of their living situation. And when the animals need to be moved somewhere and they aren't cooperating, there are some harsh treatments that are used, whether electrical prods, hitting, like yelling. It's a very stressful situation when a rancher wants their animals to move and they're not moving or cooperating. And I don't like that. it's very uncomfortable and unfortunate. And so, in my support of, or I guess a lack of support for those industries, I went vegan for almost 3 years, and slowly went through that, and then listening to Stan and his crazy ideas, like anything that goes against our norm is crazy, and kind of realized that there was another way. There was a middle ground. It wasn't just meat or anti-meat. There was something else that was healthy and sustainable and worked with nature instead of against nature, which is revolutionary, which it wasn't maybe not even 100 years ago. This would have been so like, oh yeah, of course you do this. But it's such a big deal now. The pendulum is swinging back the other way. That cows, and I'm going to stick with cows because that's what we have. As we get more animals, I'll probably talk more about that. But cows didn't have to live in their own waste in one corral for their whole lives. That they could be on fresh pasture throughout their whole life from birth to death, and be able to have space to run and play and be cows. And that was really cool. And we didn't have to coerce or punish or hurt the cows in order to get them to do something. We've really found that when we create the right space and give cows time, they will often choose what we want them to do, whether that's going in a trailer or going to a certain pasture, and that's really cool. There's only a very small percentage of the time where we need to push the cows, but that's usually maybe could be a dangerous situation, but those are stories for another time. But to get back, like, it was really important to me that when Stan invited me back to the farm, it meant that I could finally participate in something that I felt like was worthwhile and would actually make a difference. Everyone wants to make a difference. Everyone wants to do what's best, but it's hard to know what's best in this world right now, or there's so many back and forth things, but I truly feel like that this is best because this replicates nature. Grazing animals move. They don't stay in one spot. It's not healthy for them to stay in one spot. That brings on parasites and diseases. And so for these cows to move and often don't come back to the same place for a year, or maybe in 6 months, like it's time, it shows that grazing pattern of movement, and that's really cool to me. And knowing that the meat that we offer is the highest quality of nutrition, and it tastes great too. And it's really good for the planet, for our fields to be fertilized by them instead of chemicals. And we also, and in doing this, it also allows for other nature to live. It allows for natural wildlife to come back because we're not harvesting the fields with this big, fast machinery that takes away their habitats. And it's so much more than meat. Stan didn't want to get into the beef industry to become a big beef overlord and sell meat, and that's not what this is. Yes, we want to sell meat. We want to sell food and make money off of that, of course, but it's so much more than that. And that's what we want to get into with these video series coming out, is that we want you to have a relationship with us, have a relationship with a farmer, to then know that when you support us, you are engaging in the health of the planet, engaging in the health of the community, and engaging in your own personal health with both peace of mind of having this nutritious food, but also that you're making a difference. Maybe you live in a big city and you can't grow your own food. You can't do the composting or different things. Like, we're here for you. We're here to help with that, to engage in those things that you can't. And that's what your support means. We're not just a big business. When you call us, you talk to me, you talk to Stan, you get to know us. We want to get to know you. We loved it. The other day, we had some customers stop by to pick up their meat, and the first thing the gentleman said when he got out of his car was, he said, I know you. I recognize your faces, because he had already been signed up to our newsletters and our social media. And that was really cool. They'd called me that day to ask if they could come by. And it was a really cool moment to know that people care. And whether you're here because grass-fed beef is healthier, whether you're here because you want to help help make the planet a better place because you're worried about that. We're here for people who want to make a difference and for people who engage in health. And that could mean so many different things, because we're not just about eating healthy or just exercising or just this. Health is such a broad spectrum, and we're going to get into that in future videos. But I wanted to do just this quick introduction now, and thank you for being a part of this and for joining me. I look forward to getting to know you more. Please feel free to leave suggestions on what you would like to hear or what you'd like to know more about, and it'll help guide me a little bit. And probably gonna go to bed now. I've got my nerd glasses on because contacts only last so far into the night. But anyway, you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Until then, engage in your health, learn, grow, and we'll see you next time.